Hello, St. Philip's. It's good to see you this morning. I hope everybody's well this week and doing well. All the people that you love are doing well. This Sunday will be the fourth Sunday of Easter. And if you look at the readings for this Sunday, if you have those available, I can tell you what they are. One of them, the most important one, or one of the ones that's most familiar to us, is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. Or if you memorized it in the King James like I did, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. That's still beautiful language and very evocative. And the gospel reading also talks about Jesus as a shepherd, the one who guards the gate and who guards the sheep. So this Sunday of Easter, the fourth Sunday of Easter, in many traditions, Lutheran, Catholic, Anglican, is known as Shepherd's Sunday. So we talk about Jesus, the Good Shepherd, and it's a beautiful analogy, portrait of Jesus. It's also, Jesus speaks about the sheep hearing his voice as he calls them by name. And it's also traditionally been a Sunday where we talk about our calling as followers of Jesus. And each one of us has a calling. We have something that we've been called to, some kind of ministry or work, and something that we're uniquely gifted for. So that's something to think about as we approach Sunday worship, is thinking of Jesus as the Good Shepherd and thinking of our own particular calling as one of his flock, to use more sheep imagery. And I'm actually going to be trying something different this week. I'm going to preach from a remote location, and I've never done this, but I've been doing some research on sheep for this sermon, and I'm going to actually go out and hang out with a flock of sheep and possibly do my sermon from there, but it's going to be at a remote location. So, and we'll be editing it and putting it into the live stream worship. Speaking of that, we've had tremendous response on our virtual worship. We've had literally double the number of views versus people who we usually average about 100 people on any given Sunday. We've had upwards of 200 views on each of our worship services over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So that's pretty amazing. And Holy Week as well was well attended. So one of the things we need to think about as a church is looking forward. We're kind of mired in the middle of this whole quarantine thing right now and being separated from each other, but eventually we are going to be back together. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it seems to me like this idea of virtual worship is probably going to go on, and we will gather together in person, but we'll also have a presence online. And we need to be thinking about evangelism and ways that we can reach out to our neighborhood and our neighbors with the good news. So just some words to think about. A friend of mine, another priest, coined the phrase, "We are sheltering in place, we're also sheltering in grace." And I love that. I think it really says it all. So may God go with you this week. May peace be with you as we prepare for Sunday worship. And as we shelter in place, may we also shelter in grace. Amen.